So the recent events in our nation have continued to reverberate in my life this week, as perhaps they have in yours. I've been hearing from various people about their sorrow and anxiety and disappointment. I had one conversation with somebody who said, well, I hope you won't keep talking about that because I've finally managed to arrive at a place of acceptance and some calm and peace, and I really don't want it all to get stirred up again. And I've also received emails like this one. Everyone I know is having trouble sleeping. I am finding myself clinging to the dim hope that the religious community, the sane part, that is, will rise up and identify the satanic fever that has gripped our country before it is too late. Pardon me for taking the liberty to petition your wisdom at this time. Where, oh where are the true protectors of the word and human decency in this time of peril? Could this be the time for a new kind of great awakening? Is anything stirring out there among your fellow religious leaders? So, stop talking about it, or stir up a great awakening. This is what kept me up last night. But the truth is we need both. We need both. Those who have studied the history of how it is that nations fall prey to authoritarianism will tell us that the most important thing is that we resist, one way or another. If we just capitulate, they will keep taking more and more and more liberties. And we can't panic. We need the revolutionary patience of Jesus Christ. Revolutionary patience to call out the truth, stand with the vulnerable, who will be the first to be victimized, the immigrants, the LGBTQ plus community, poor pregnant women. But we also can't allow ourselves to be alarmed. We need to remember that these things happen in history. There are wars and rumors of wars. There are famines and earthquakes. Jesus comes out of the temple, and one of his disciples is, "Isn't this amazing? What a beautiful temple. Isn't it magnificent?" And Jesus says, "Not a stone will be left on a stone." And it feels a little bit like that for some of us right now, about liberal modernity, democracy, something which took so long to build, seems to be tottering on the brink of collapse. This happens. This happens. But the letter to the Hebrews tells us that when Christ had made his one sacrifice once and for all, and had gone to sit at the right hand of God, he sat down there and he waited. He waited for God to not destroy his enemies, but to make a footstool for him out of them. Jesus never sought to conquer his enemies, but to love them and to serve them as he served everyone, being last of all and servant, actually literally slave of all. He was willing to wait. And he counsels his disciples when he sits there on the Mount of Olives, opposite the temple, the very place where the prophet Zechariah says God will sit in judgment on Jerusalem. And he says, do not be led astray. People will come in my name. They will be saying, I am he. I am the one who will fix it all. Do not be led astray. Don't be alarmed by the wars, the rumors of wars, the famines and earthquakes. Not be alarmed. Have revolutionary patience. Because one of the biggest problems we have is all those people who are in such a hurry to get it all settled, to bring God's judgment themselves, according to their own version of what God's judgment is, on the people they have identified as God's enemies, and to get it done quickly. And if you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet, well, that's just how it goes. So let's arm ourselves with weapons of mass destruction. Let's destroy the earth to convert it into money. Who cares? Because God's going to bring it all to an end really soon anyway. And if we can help the process along, well, so be it. Because we're just tired of waiting for the end. Do not be led astray. Do not be led astray. But persist in loving and serving, and resisting evil. Persist in gathering, not neglecting to come together, as Hebrews says, as some do, but keep coming together here and wherever you can assemble people of goodwill, and organize and speak out with revolutionary patience, knowing, as Daniel knew, that God does have a plan. Knowing, as Jesus did, that God alone is good. And we can't hurry God. So if it seems like the world is going through its death throes, remember what Jesus said. When you see the wars and the rumors of wars, and the earthquakes, and the nations rising up against the nations, and the peoples against the peoples, these are not the death throes. They are the birth pains. The birth pains of a new world. The world that God is creating. Lovingly, patiently, kindly, often secretly, among the people who are overlooked, the people who seem to be powerless. God is working, building a world where God can live with God's people, to be their God, known to them, beloved by them, praised and honored, and served by them as God loves and honors and serves God's people on earth. That, my friends, that is something worth waiting for.